So hello friends, in this video we are now going to start with the antimicrobial drugs, and the first we are going to discuss the DNA gyrase inhibitors. In that we will discuss two group of drugs, that is first is your quinolones and the second one is your sulfonamides. Okay, these two group of drugs come under the DNA gyrase inhibitors. Now first coming to the quinolones. So quinolones are active mainly against your gram-negative bacteria. Okay, mind it, quinolones are active mainly against gram-negative bacteria. Now in quinolone, the first drug is your nalidixic acid. Okay, the mechanism of action is DNA gyrase inhibitor, and by inhibiting DNA gyrase, it is of bactericidal nature. So this is important MCQ question. It is usually asked, that is nalidixic acid is whether bactericidal or bacteriostatic. The answer will be bactericidal. Now what is the use of nalidixic acid? So it is used against gram-negative bacteria first, and especially coliforms. Okay, coliforms are preferred. Now coming to the pharmacokinetics. So pharmacokinetics, oral absorption is very good, highly plasma protein binding capacity, and it involves liver metabolism. Now it is well concentrated in urine, so it can be used for UTI cases also. Now what are the side effects of the nalidixic acid? So side effect: rashes, GI upset, toxicities, neurological type such as headache, vertigo, visual disturbances, seizure. Then in patient with G6PD deficiency, it may develop hemolysis. Okay, so these are the common side effects, and this nalidixic acid is contraindicated in infants. This was quinolone, that is nalidixic acid. Now we are moving to the next group, that is fluoroquinolone. Okay, and this compound is formed by fluorination of quinolones at position 6 and introduction of piperazine at the 7th position. Okay, so quinolones are modified into fluoroquinolone. Now fluoroquinolone has two generation drugs. First generation includes your norfloxacin, ciprofloxacin, ofloxacin, and pafloxacin. Okay, so floxacin group of drugs coming on the first generation of fluoroquinolone. Okay, floxacin. Then second generation includes same levofloxacin, then moxifloxacin, gamifloxacin. So floxacin, if words come, then it indicates about fluoroquinolones. Okay, then prolifloxacin, damifloxacin, and sparfloxacin. So these are the two generation drugs. Now to the mechanism of action. So you are knowing, first is your DNA gyrase inhibitor. Okay, mainly in gram-negative bacteria. It is also topoisomerase 4 inhibitor, which is present in gram-positive, and it has very less affinity for topoisomerase 2, and this topoisomerase 2 is present in mammalia, but it has very less affinity for that. Okay, so there is low toxicity to host cell. So DNA gyrase inhibitor in gram-negative, topoisomerase 4 inhibitor in gram-positive. It can inhibit topoisomerase 2 also, but it is very less. So they have low toxicity to host cells. Okay. Now the first drug in fluoroquinolone is your norfloxacin. Norfloxacin is least effective fluoroquinolone, and it is used for UTI infection. And see, norfloxacin combined with nalidixic acid. Okay, or norfloxacin and nalidixic acid are also called as urinary quinolones, because they are well concentrated in urine. They are well concentrated in urine and can be used for UTI. So norfloxacin and nalidixic acid are also known as urinary quinolones. Okay. Now other uses such as prostatitis and diarrhea. The next is your ciprofloxacin. A very important point, that is the most potent first generation fluoroquinolone. Okay, in first generation this ciprofloxacin is the most potent. Aerobic gram-negative bacilli are the most susceptible to this. Okay, highly susceptible are E. coli, Neisseria, then pneumonia, then Enterobacter, Haemophilus influenzae, Shigella, Salmonella, and Vibrio cholerae. Now what is the pharmacokinetics involved? So oral absorption is very rapid, and food can delay its absorption, good tissue penetration, and they are excreted in urine. Now what are the side effects? Side effect is seen only in 10% of the patient. GI side effect, CNS side effect, hypersensitivity reaction. So GI side effects such as nausea, vomiting, bad taste, CNS such as headache, anxiety, dizziness, hypersensitivity, rash, photosensitivity, swelling, like this. Okay, tendon rupture in more than 68%. That is very rare. Tendon rupture is very rare. Okay, so these are the side effects which are associated only in 10%. So no major side effect associated with ciprofloxacin. Okay. Then contraindication is pregnancy. Now coming to the introduction of the ciprofloxacin. So theophylline, caffeine, and warfarin toxicity can occur. Okay, these three toxicity can occur because ciprofloxacin decreases the metabolism of these three. NSAID enhance CNS toxicity of fluoroquinolones, and your iron salt and antacid also decreases the absorption of fluoroquinolone. So these three interactions are important. Now what are the uses? So this ciprofloxacin is drug of choice for Shigella, for traveler's diarrhea, for meningococcal meningitis, for both contact and mass prophylaxis, for pyonephritis. So ciprofloxacin is very important because it is drug of choice for this group of diseases. Now it can also be used in treatment of Pseudomonas infection. It is also second line drug in cases of cankerite formation. It is the most common used drug for empirical therapy of diarrhea. Okay, mind it. This is the most common used drug for empirical therapy of diarrhea. This is asked in AIMS. Now, for typhoid, this is first line drug. Okay, ceftriaxone is most commonly now used for typhoid, but this can also be used. Clear? Ceftriaxone is the most commonly used nowadays. Now, bone, soft tissue, and wound infection can be used for that. Respiratory infection, also drug of choice for anthrax. So this is all about your ciprofloxacin. Now, next, gemifloxacin, then gatifloxacin, levofloxacin, and moxifloxacin. These are known as respiratory quinolones. Okay, and these are the first line drug for empirical treatment of pneumonia. Mind it, it is very commonly asked question, that is first line drug for the treatment of pneumonia. So this group of drugs which are known as respiratory quinolones are the first line drug, and side effect is QT prolongation. Now the next drug is your levofloxacin. Oral bioavailability is 100%. Use is community acquired pneumonia and exacerbation of the chronic bronchitis. So these are the two common use. It can also be used for sinusitis, pyelonephritis, prostatitis, and it is second most active fluoroquinolone for TB. This is important. Okay, second most active fluoroquinolone for TB. Now the next is your moxifloxacin. This is the most potent fluoroquinolone against TB. Okay, so extensively used in MDR TB. This is most important question. Moxifloxacin. Used pneumonia, bronchitis, sinusitis, otitis media. It is not used for UTI infection, and contraindication is liver disease and CNS problems. The next is your ofloxacin and moxifloxacin. So moxifloxacin is the most active fluoroquinolone against leprosy. Okay, and this can be used for both TB plus leprosy. Okay, these two drugs. Now then ofloxacin, so comparable to ciprofloxacin. This ofloxacin is comparable to ciprofloxacin in therapy of systemic plus mixed infection. Clear? It is lipid soluble, so oral bioavailability is more and no interference with the food. Now the next is your pefloxacin. It is highly lipid soluble and entry into CSF is maximum among fluoroquinolones. So this is important question, whose entry is highest in CSF. So pefloxacin. So it is used for laryngeal infection. Now what are the recent advances? So delofloxacin, it is used for bacterial skin infection. Then ozenoxacin, it is for impetigo treatment, which is due to for streptococcus. Side effects are tendinitis, cartilage growth effect. Okay, so contraindicated in pregnancy in children. One more drug is PART-1. Okay, it is banned due to maximum QT prolongation plus photosensitivity. One drug was gatifloxacin. It is also banned due to dysglycemia. Then trovaroxacin, this is also banned due to hepatotoxicity. Contraindication of fluoroquinolones are renal failure, except pefloxacin and moxifloxacin. So this is an important question. Okay, so in next video we will start with the antifluorid drug. So thank you for watching.